What is going on, guys? Now, I know many of you out there have had this feeling this year. As a matter of fact, it's probably all of you. I bought the dip and it kept dipping. So I bought the dip again and it kept dipping and dipping and dipping. What the heck do I do now? Well, good news. I will tell you exactly what to do in this scenario. I just ask in exchange for you to gently tap that like button and consider subscribing too, since it's super easy to do apparently, although I can't say it's super easy. And if you want a team of investors, including me, to work directly with you to effectively buy the dip and work the concepts we are going to discuss today, consider joining the Market Insiders private group, where we have added a few more discounted sales spots because you asked for them and it's the holiday season, so we wanted to give them to you. You get access to 4 free courses that teach you how to plan, do evaluation, build up your cash, and a ton more, and you get full access to me, my watch list with price targets, my buy and sell alerts, live weekly Q&As, exclusive videos, and a ton more. So check out the pinned comment. And before blasting me for promoting it, I have no ads, no sponsors. This is what YouTube pays me in a month, and I give half of that and half the group's proceeds to charity. Alright, so what the heck do you do if you bought the dip and it keeps dipping? Well, in my case, I just buy the dip again and hold and rinse and repeat until I have the position I want. Or if it's a stock that I love, I just keep doing it. But Luke, that is stupid and you're just burning money. Well, let me give you the 3 reasons I continue to buy the dip and why it's actually a winning strategy. The first reason is because I do a proper valuation on every stock before I ever buy it. I don't ever buy a stock because it's down 70% or 80% or whatever from its all-time highs. That never enters the equation. I don't care about that. There could be a great reason for that, like it was overvalued in the first place and still overvalued, or even worse, it's a dying business. But you won't know until you do a valuation. I didn't buy Tesla at 900 at the beginning of the year when everyone thought it was going to 3,000 this year, and so everybody was just basically buying as many shares as they could. I was essentially staying on the sidelines and not buying anything, and I got hammered in the comments section at the time for being a bad investor and not knowing what I'm doing. And that was like way too many air quotes, wasn't it? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but it was way overvalued at the time, and I knew it based on the valuation. Instead, I waited and was buying this summer when it was down around 40% because then it was undervalued from a valuation standpoint. And then guess what it did? It dipped more, so I bought more, and now I am up around 40% on just those shares alone. Those who bought the highs at the beginning of the year are just now breaking even with Tesla stock after they've held it for almost a year, and that's assuming that they actually held that whole year. But my guess is a lot of those people sold for a loss at 800, 700, or wherever, hence why the stock fell so hard so fast. Valuation prevents that and allows you to clearly see when it's too high or on an actual discount. And the dip is much easier to buy if you know it's already undervalued. Not down big from its all-time highs, not from a YouTuber's predictions, but from an actual valuation standpoint. They always matter in the long run. And the second reason is because I know what I own. I'm not saying this is all of you, so please don't go blasting me, but I do know a lot of people buy a stock because they watched a YouTube video or read an article and then buy the stock based upon that. And when the stock doesn't go up for whatever reason, it really doesn't matter why, they bail and sell the stock. Essentially doing the same thing we just described, buy high, sell low, because you don't understand the company, so you don't know what you own. You don't understand the long-term prospects. You don't know where they are going. You don't know the revenue projections for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. You don't know if the product is actually going to sell at all or if it's selling out huge. You don't know if there's a problem with the business or not. You are essentially guessing while simultaneously losing money. Which, by the way, if you didn't know, that is the exact recipe needed for buying high and selling low. So how the heck do you know what you own? Well, the answer is pretty simple. You have to put in the work and study the stock, study the financials, research the management team, do a proper valuation like we just discussed, listen to the earnings calls and all that other good stuff like that. It just takes time and some hard work. It's easy to hold Tesla when it dips hard because I know what I own. I know where they are going. I know where I think the stock will be in 3 years, 5 years from now, and so on. And I knew I was getting a bargain in the 600s this summer, so I bought, even though it dipped further into the 500s. But not once did I think of selling those shares. I was only thinking about adding more. Ask all the folks who kept buying the dip and holding on Tesla for years between 2013 to 2019 how happy they are about it now. They just kept buying the dip, and then it would run up, and then it would dip again, and they just kept continuing buying it. And now most of those people are probably sitting on a whole heck of a lot of money. That doesn't happen by luck. Nobody is that lucky and sticks with losing for 6 years. The only way that happens is when you know what you own. And the final reason is because I know nobody can time the market. Not Warren Buffett, not Peter Lynch, not Cathie Wood, nobody can do it. So if I follow the first 2 points we just discussed, I know I did a proper valuation, so I know I am buying at a great price that is undervalued. I also know the business that I own and the long-term opportunity that I have in my portfolio. So then when I add in the fact that I cannot accurately time the bottom, that is when I can confidently buy, knowing it probably will go even lower and dip more. And that's easy to do because I've accepted the fact that I cannot time the market, and that makes me just like everyone else, including the all-time greats of investing. Bottom line, if I have high conviction and my cash position is funded like it should be, and we can talk about that in a different video, I add more on the dip again, knowing that I'm buying a great company with a great long-term opportunity ahead of it at an undervalued price that will go lower in the short term because I cannot time the market, but it will pay off huge in the long term. This is how you consistently make great returns over the long run buying the dip as a long-term investor. But I want to hear from you guys. How do you handle buying the dip? I would love to hear what you think. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.